How to buy good quality gold dust and not get this funny looking kind of results right here, because the result of your cake or the result of what you get depends on what kind of dust you have. So the first thing you want to do when you're trying to buy a gold dust for a cake is you don't want to buy something that has, like, you can see the particles through the container. Usually the containers are transparent, so if you can see like the tiny particles, you don't want that. What you want is you want to be able to see that the container is coated. That will show you how well the gold dust you're buying will coat your cake or whatever it is you're painting. For example, guys, look at these cakes I made and painted in gold dust. They are well coated and it indicates how well the gold dust kind of coats the containers. And in this video, I'm not trying to advertise a particular gold dust. You can buy any gold dust you want. I'm just trying to show you guys how to identify the good quality gold dust so you can get the good ones every time. Make sure it coats the containers and like it is not, you can't see the particles, because those particles will separate when you're painting. When you add your medium like vodka, it will separate, and that's not what you want. So take some gold dust and pour in a container and then add some vodka to it, and you want to form a thick paste. You don't want it to be too thick. You want it to be like the consistency of maybe like a runny pap you want to feed a baby, kind of. You want it to be too thick and you don't want it to be too watery. And then stir it together and make sure when you stir it well enough and there are no like dried particles, because when there are dried particles, it's going to fall down like and touch parts of your cake you don't want it to get to. I don't know if that makes sense. Like, make sure it is well mixed and no part of it is kind of trying to fall off. So guys, the reason why you're using vodka and not some other liquid is because alcohol kind of evaporates really fast. So it leaves your cake dry and like well put together instead of wet and sticky in the case of maybe using water or flavor or something, some other stuff. Different people use different things, but I'll advise you use vodka because it's a good suspension fluid for edible gold dust, and at the same time it dries really fast. So, and when you're painting, it's important you paint with a tiny brush, especially when you have crevices to like get into, like in this cake. If it was just like maybe a plain cake without maybe designs and decorations on it, then you can use a big flat brush, kind of like a brush you would apply highlights with on your face. If that makes sense. But if you have a cake that has like corners and crevices like this one, you should use a tiny brush that can get into those spaces so that like there won't be parts you didn't get paint into and stuff. You get. So guys, it's important to note that even though you are painting with vodka, your cake is not going to smell of alcohol because you're painting with very little and it evaporates very fast. So don't worry about it smelling of like vodka or something. And you don't have to use vodka. You can use maybe brandy. Just use a spirit alcohol. I don't know if that's right. Like maybe a gin or something transparent and like, you know, alcohol. High in alcohol. Those things evaporate really fast. So if you notice like there are streaks of brushes and you don't want to see streaks of brushes, especially in those plain parts where there are no designs. So I'm going to show you how to get rid of that once you're done painting. So once you're done painting like this, I've kind of covered my whole cake. You don't want to see these streaks. Look at the top of this cake. You don't want those streaks on your cake. So you leave it to dry for maybe like 30 minutes. It will be like completely dried out. And then you're going to go back to those really plain And if this is your first time, I hope you come back. So see you guys next time. Thank you, and I love you.